What's up, everybody? Back here with another video for you. This time I got a video reply. I watched it this morning, and it is the top 5 vocalists in death metal. So this is a reply to Scourge Vinyl. If you haven't watched him, go check him out. I'm sure you guys all have, but I feel obligated to say it because he makes fucking great videos. So basically, his only rules basically were no Chris Barnes, no Corpse Grinder, and he liked to base his more off of their entire catalog throughout all of their music. So yeah, so I'll just fucking cut right into it. In the background, we're listening to Profanum Nexus by Incantation. Thought I could put a classic death metal band on for this, and that being what we're listening to is very convenient because number 5, Brendan chose the old vocalist and I chose the new vocalist. This is Incantation and the vocalist John McEntee. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. I'm not exactly sure, to tell you the truth. Sometimes last names are a little tricky, obviously. But this is my favorite work John did. Incantation's album Blasphemy. His vocals aren't reinventing the wheel. If any highs, there's almost none. It's very minimal. He's mostly just a low, guttural as fuck vocalist. And that fits super well with the band. And I like his style and his pronunciations, you know, choosing the vocal, I can't call it melodies, so I'll call it a pattern. And his choices are just really well thought out and well put, if that makes sense to you. How he puts his vocals over riffs, especially with shit this heavy, is just awe-inspiring for me. One of my favorite vocal styles to emulate as far as my lows go is his, because I just enjoy how it sounds. The tone of his low is just brutal as fuck, and it's badass. So at number 5, I'm gonna put John McEntee from Incantation. I'm sure you guys have all listened to a shitload of Incantation, so I don't need to dwell on it. Next, Thomas Limberg from At the Gates. I don't know if, well, I'm assuming it's Thomas or Tomas or something like that, because in Sweden, he's Swedish. But his vocals are fucking awesome. They're fucking feral. Super aggressive, hardcore inspired, high death metal vocals. And obviously he was inspired by, I would assume, mid-era Carcass and stuff like that. And this whole Swedish melodicism thing is just amazing. And his choices in vocal patterns and the way that he delivers is amazing. It helps really add to the music's ferocity, and it just is a fucking blast in the face, and it's great. Tomas's vocal delivery, his tone of his voice is just amazing. It's very aggressive, like I said, not as much of just trying to be brutal, but it seems as if he's trying to prove a point with his style. And I really enjoy that, because most of the time when you hear death metal, you think, you know, they're trying to be brutal as possible and just all around heavy, which is all good and great. I mean, I just showed Incantation. They're just amazing. And this is like a different style altogether. Obviously, you've heard it before, and I think Thomas Limberg is one of the best vocalists in Swedish death metal specifically, but in general as well. So I'm going to put Thomas Limberg as the next one, number 4. This is one of my favorite death metal albums, so there's that. Next, I was torn between this one being number 2 or number 3, and they were kind of switching back and forth. But in the end, because they don't have as many albums, and he didn't deliver on every release because he left recently in the past couple of years, he got bumped to number 3, even though he's probably my biggest vocal inspiration for my own band. So, next is Chance Garnett from Skeleton Witch. Now, you might want to argue with me that this isn't death metal. It's blackened melodic death metal in my eyes. He does lows, he does highs, and the music's heavy, and it's blackened melodic death metal for me. If you don't agree, whatever, but, you know, for me, he's number 3 on my favorite death metal vocalists. And also, before I go, a close 6th was Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder, just because of who he is, how he sounds, how he does his thing, and just how cool of a fucking person he is. But Chance Garnett does the regular straight-up black metal wretch. In the beginning, it was more in vein of Abbott, and then later, he kind of just came into his own completely, and it's awesome. On this album specifically, he does a lot more lows than he does on Serpents Unleashed, because I can't even think of one point in Serpents Unleashed where he does lows, but I think there might be a couple sprinkled, but I don't recall exactly. But this one has quite a few lows, and the song Fire from the Sky is one of my favorite Skeleton Witch songs. It actually probably is my favorite Skeleton Witch song, and I did a cover on it on this channel, and his vocals inspired me a lot to sound the way that I do. I love the sound of his really aggressive black metal wretch scream, and then the lows. His lows are awesome. They're the same style, in my opinion, as the Incantation style low. Maybe a bit more muffled sounding, and it's just a great tone. I mean, his delivery, especially on this one, he writes catchy stuff. Like, his lyrics are catchy as hell, and I feel like being a lyricist also is a part of being a vocalist. I understand that Corpse Grinder doesn't write his own lyrics, and a lot of what Nurgle from Behemoth does isn't only his lyrics, though he does write quite a few of them. He pairs with somebody else. But Chance Garnett is one of my favorites. I've been a big fan of Skeleton Witch for a long time. They're one of those bands that really, really catches my eye, or ears, I guess. But Skeleton Witch, right there. I had a couple albums that I could have pulled out, but I just chose Beyond the Permafrost. Next, I just mentioned him, and this is the reason I do low vocals. This guy, Behemoth, Nurgle from Behemoth specifically. This is The Apostasy. Amazing, amazing album. My favorite's Demigod. It's just kind of a bitch to find that CD without, like, ordering it and paying, like, close to 20 bucks for it, and I don't know. When I'm going to pay 20 bucks online, I want to order other stuff. But, back to the point. Nurgle's lows are more of a roar rather than they are a low guttural, and honestly I think I prefer the roar low than the guttural low, which is I guess not exactly a common opinion, but this album in particular is one of the best vocally for Nurgle, I'd say. It's just aggressive, super, I don't know what the word is. It's all around very well done, I'd say. I couldn't think of the word, but Slaying the Prophets of Ease is awesome. My band plays that sometimes at rehearsal, just dicking around, you know, stuff like that. Crest Grinding Avenue and At the Left Hand of God is one of my favorite Behemoth tracks ever, and Nurgle's delivery on it's awesome. Obviously, he started off doing very old school black metal, like early Behemoth. I have the album up there. Which one is it? Oh, From the Pagan Vastlines. I have that up there, and it's awesome, but I brought this one up because it's a death metal video. And he's just an all-around pretty versatile vocalist, and now he's kind of mixing these almost chant yell vocals into his live shows, and I have a feeling that that could be on the next Behemoth record, and I'm pretty excited to hear that. I mean, he's done a little bit of it in previous releases, and I'm excited to hear what Nurgle's doing next, and Nurgle is number 2. And now, my favorite death metal vocalist of all time. If you guys know me, you probably already guessed it. If not, it won't come as a surprise. Michael Ackerfeld from Opeth. The guy can clean sing, the guy can do high screams, the guy can do low screams. He is probably the most versatile vocalist I can think of. Now his screams are shit, but back in the day, basically everything up into Heritage, where there's no harsh vocals. Watershed was the last one with harsh vocals. His vocals are inspiring for me. Awe-inspiring. Completely amazing. He's got that awesome roar where you could tell what he's saying, but then he can also sing. really fucking well. And the versatility in itself is enough to be the best vocalist for me. Because factually speaking, he's definitely one of the best vocalists in death metal, or was one of the best vocalists in death metal. He's just amazing. Completely amazing. And a lot of people might not agree with that, but you gotta give it up to him. The guy can sing, and the guy can do vocals crazy. And that'll be my list, guys. He is my favorite vocalist in death metal. If you haven't noticed, none of these bands are straight up death metal. They're all kind of compound genres, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, like blackened death metal or progressive death metal, just that shit. Subgenres, yeah, that. So that's my top 10. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it, and let me know what yours is in the comments, or do a video response, because I think this is a pretty interesting topic. I like watching list videos. So catch you guys later.